Hey, I'm Alex with Marc's Mobility. In this video, we're going to show you the unboxing of the new Golden Eagle all-terrain. This is called the GR596. Once again, this is how it is going to come. Ours was not delivered on a pallet because it looked like they had the way for the pallet and the forklift to go underneath it. So can't tell you if yours is going to come on a pallet or not. But this is the box, and this is going to be the instructions on how you are going to open the box when you receive the new Golden Eagle all-terrain. First thing you're going to need is, I'm assuming, either a knife or some box cutter. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to cut some of these two heavy-duty straps. Looks like they did put some extra protection on the corners. And then I'm going to use my box cutter now as well, just simply due to there's a lot of good tape around here. And then you can open the box up. So it does look like the seat is inside the box. That was one thing I was not sure about, if the seat came in the box or not, or if it was in a separate box, but I was notified that the battery should be installed inside the unit as well. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a few of these pieces out of the box before I actually cut the box down. The seat is upside down in the box, so I will go ahead and I'm going to remove the seat first. Get a good grip on this. Go ahead, the seat is upside down, so just be careful when you're taking the seat and putting it back on the ground. I'll set that over to the side. Then inside it looks like we also are going to have the headrest with the flag and the rear or the front basket. This is all going to be over here to the side as well. It does look like they do tape them to the side of the box, so that box cutter or a pair of scissors is going to be useful in this process as well. And then you're basically going to have some more foam material that they use down here that we will set to the side as well. That's going to be mainly for protection of the unit because the seat is upside down. Once again, they have more foam blocks in here. So you will have a little bit of extra material to get rid of. But now from here, I think it's probably going to be easiest if you did have a box cutter and you were to kind of cut the outside of this box. That's typically what I do, cut the four corners, lay the box down flat, and then you should be able to roll the unit off of the pallet. Looks like over in the front corner as well, they do have the armrests. So we'll pull those out. I'll take those arms and I'll set those over here on the ground as well. Once you have that out, looks like that's pretty much all the extra material that they have inside there. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut the four corners of this box. Now once you get the first box off, there is actually a secondary box inside the unit. This one does look like you can just take this and physically lift it off. So once your box is removed, this is what the unit's going to look like. They do have a solid piece of plastic kind of over the unit. So for time purposes, I'm just going to go ahead and remove all of these now. Your tiller does have some covering over it with some cardboard as well. So we'll remove that so we can actually get to the tiller portion. Once again, pretty good tape on here, so knife or a pair of scissors is going to be recommended with this unit when you're unboxing it. And then they probably have, there is a lever up here underneath the unit as well that you can see easier now, but in this position, this is the lever here that you have to reach your hand under, and that is what's going to allow you to adjust the tiller forward and back. And then inside here, underneath the tiller, looks like this is the rear storage, but let me confirm that. Yep, so your rear storage tote is going to be located right here underneath the tiller as well on the floorboard. So I'm going to go ahead and set that off to the side as well. All right, so now this is basically your unit on the pallet. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean up this material. I'll be back in just a minute. All right, so now I'm back. You can see that we have most of the material here at the seat with the arms, the basket. Now this storage box, one thing I want to mention is it took me a minute to find the keys because they simply just taped them inside the bubble wrap that covers this box. So if you're just taking the bubble wrap off, setting it to the ground, well, the keys for your unit, the seat post, everything else, charger is inside this lock box. Well, I couldn't find the keys to get to it. So I did have to dig through a lot of the bubble wrap that we had. I was able to find it. I did mention to Golden, hey, maybe it could be in a better, more visible spot. But just notate, when you are taking the bubble wrap off of the storage box in the back, there are going to be two keys that are going to look like this, and they are just taped inside the bubble wrap. Now, they might change that due to my complaint, but I just want to mention to you, don't throw your bubble wrap away until you definitely have the keys for the lockbox, because then you're going to be stuck without being able to access the lockbox. So inside the lockbox, once again, I'll come over here a little bit to the side. You are going to have a lockbox like this that is included with the unit. Take your key, unlock the lockbox, and then from here, once it is unlocked, you will be able to access the inside of this. And inside here, it does look like you're going to have your owner's manual with your keys, obviously the new NFC tags as well that we talked about, and we'll go over what that is in the full video review. But it also looks like you're going to have your seat post. And then you're going to have in here, in this box, is going to be, looks like they are coming with a phone holder as well. So that's going to be inside there. And then this should be your charger. Charger is going to be inside. Also looks like some mirrors are in here. And then this looks like this is probably going to be the storage, the plate that we're going to have to mount to the bottom of the storage box so that we can slide that onto the back of the seat. All right, so I also found out the batteries do ship inside the unit, but the batteries are not connected. So what you're going to do is you are going to have to look here in the back of the unit. You are going to have a twist knob back here. You'd actually have to physically remove this twist knob, and then the plastic shroud will come off. It does just sit on with Velcro here in the front, so you are able to remove the shroud. I ordered this one with the 100 amp hour batteries. It does look like they're shipping currently with MK batteries, so some of the top end batteries on the market. It's not going to be hard to connect your batteries because you do have these two cables here, and then you're going to have your two cables coming off your batteries. Once again, doesn't matter which plug you plug it in, you just need to plug the batteries in, and then now you are going to have power. So once again, it does not matter if it's the right battery to the left cable, left battery to the right cable, you just need to go ahead and make sure you have power. And now you do have to install the seat post as well. Obviously this is just going to be initially when you get the unit. And let me look and see if they do have any tools potentially. Looks like they do give you a small tool like this. This is inside the phone holder bracket. Not sure if that's going to actually match up with the bolts. So I just want to see if there's going to be any tools needed potentially when you are putting the seat post on. So since this is not going to be so yes, you do have a tool in here that would allow you to twist that. I'm going to go get an actual wrench on there and just see exactly what size it is, because it is not marked. And since it is a lock nut on one side, you technically would need two tools, or a pair of vice grips that you're able to twist these bolts easier. But your seat post is going to be inside here that you do have to mount, and there are going to be two different hold positions if you want the seat to sit a little bit higher or not. Okay, so now I'm back. Yes, they do give you a tool in there that you can use. It really is a 17 millimeter size socket that you need. Maybe 11/16 you can get away with. Just make sure you don't strip the head of the bolt. But it's going to be an 17 millimeter, and I'm just going to use some adjustable pliers here. Do want to mention as well, when you are putting this seat post on, you are going to have a notch You're going to have notches, and you're going to have a post like this in the back. You want this single post in the back to go towards the rear of the scooter. Otherwise, it will not lock in place, and the seat's just going to kind of swivel all around on you. I also mentioned as well that you are going to have 2 different hole placements in here. So just for my purposes, I'm going to put it in the higher hole position, just because typically people like to sit a little higher off the ground, but you are able to go down about 1 inch as well. And when we do the full video review, I will go over that seat to deck height and stuff, and I'm going to notate that this is in the higher position so that you would be able to be 1 inch lower if needed. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tighten this up on there. Once again, I mean, just for safety reasons, I will tell you when you are putting this on here, just pay attention, because, you know, if you are using pliers or sockets, you do have some of the lead terminals still here on the battery that are going to be visible based on these high quality batteries. So just like anything, make sure you're not touching metal onto the positive. You might then get a spark, or not might, you will get a spark, and that will definitely frighten you. So go ahead and I'm going to tighten this all the way up. Once again, 17 millimeter is going to be the size tool you need. If you just have pliers, once again, they do give you a small tool in there to use. But if you do have a socket set, that's going to be a whole lot easier just to use a socket set and the small little tool that they provide. So now that we got the seat post on there, we have our batteries connected, we can go ahead and drop our main shroud back over the unit. Put that piece back down. So in the front, just sits on with Velcro. The back, you do want to make sure there's a little black tab that sticks up, so you want the shroud on the outside of that. So when you tighten this up, it is going to hold it in place. Once again, make sure you are saving this little piece. I mean, I guess you could just get a different screw and screw it in there, but it is nice to just have a nice T-shaped handle on it that you are able to then just screw that back on. So now from here, I'm going to take the seat, I'm going to drop it onto the base. You do have, the seat is going to come in a folded down position, but just note you do have a handle on the right hand side. So I'm going to then just go ahead and raise that up and then grab the seat and drop that onto the base. Make sure your seat belt is not in the way, because when I got mine, it was kind of wrapped around the swivel handle. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop the seat onto the post. And so it looks like with this one, not all scooters need to, but I believe this one, let me see. Okay, you do not need to. Some scooters on other brands, you did have to lift the swivel handle while putting that on. All I had to do was apply a little bit of pressure, and it did drop on. You can always double check to make sure it works. With your swivel handle, it locks about every 45 degrees. Once again, I said the seat belt was underneath the unit when I got it, but you are able to then take that through the back and slide it through here, just like so. So now I'm going to then go ahead and take the arms and attach the arms. These do come with foam all over them. They are height adjustable. I noticed on mine as well that one was loose of this height adjustable knob, so the arm wanted to pull out when I was taking the foam off. So just so you're not damaging anything or dropping anything, it is a 2-piece arm set, so make sure you are holding onto that when you are taking that out of the plastic molding. Then back here, this looks like you actually have 2 sets of adjustable tensioning to hold the arm in place. So there's 2 knobs back here. You are going to have to loosen those in until you feel that there's no restriction on the arm. And then you are able to then slide the arm in to whatever depth or width you want. And then you actually have 2 knobs in the back for extra support to hold the arm in place. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the other arm on this side. I'm going to take this arm over here and I'm going to slide this on this side. Once again, they do have these all the way tightened in, so it is better to back these screws out before you go to attach your arm. I do want to mention as well that this one is in their gray color. I picked gray because the other color is red. Red's pretty standard on the market, so I went with this gray color, which I think does look very sharp as well. So now you have both the arms attached. And now it looks like you're going to have your rear bracket back here that is going to hold your storage compartment. So when they do have these on here, they are going to come with a little cap on the back. So you will have to pull that cap out. Now, if you ever want to take your storage compartment off, I would just leave the cap in the back. This is going to go in here. And then from here, same concept. You do have to back this screw out as well. And let me see if that screw is going to go through and hold it, because they do provide you with a bolt. So I want to see if this screw goes far enough in there. to hold this in place, which it does. It does hold it in place. A little bit curious because they also send you an extra bolt in here. I'm assuming that is if you wanted to screw this in and have this a little bit tighter on here, you do have a bolt. We'll check that as well. You might have to back out that thumb screw here because you do have an extra bolt in the back. And then it looks like here from your storage compartment, once again, make sure you still have the keys for it. Okay, so here's the concept. A little bit different than what I thought. Let me release this and get this off of here. You do actually have these two screws. So what you would do is you're going to slide, there's these two screws that are sitting upwards. You're actually going to slide those in and then go down in the front. So I was wondering how it was going to stay on and stay sturdy, but it does look like once you have those two screws, the two slots and it's slid in, then you could take the front basket, take your little lock mechanism in the front, press that down, and it would then hold it in place. All right, so I'm back, and for time purposes, I went ahead and already attached the left mirror on the unit. Your cell phone holder is going to come in here in two different pieces. So I do want to mention you do have to back this screw out to be able to put this ball type shape in here. It's already on one side. Just make sure you're kind of holding it together because this will unscrew and there is a little washer in there. So you want to keep your components together. So make sure you're not losing anything because there is minor assembly on this itself. And then from here, what I wanted to show you is how they designed this was so that you could use your cell phone and have this on the same side. So, or I mean, your mirror is going to be attached through the actual cell phone holder. So what I mean by that is there's going to be a hole in here. So what you're going to do is you are going to back your rubber fitting off and then back some of the thread off of this screw here itself. And then it is going to go through that hole. So once again, you want to make sure it's backed off quite a bit so that you have extra space to screw the mirror in. The mirror basically just turns around by itself on here as well. So it looks like when I'm doing this, I'm probably going to have to get the cell phone holder kind of out of the way. And then you can just begin to go ahead and twist this around. Now they do provide a tool, but an easy hack on these as well is if you see and you get all the way there and it's tight, what you want to do is you just want to back that screw off a little bit, and as you begin to turn it, it should self-tighten. So it's going to get to a certain point that then it is in the right position, and you're able to put that back over there. Now, your cell phone holder, once again, is going to be somewhere over here, so it is a little bit obstructed by that rear view mirror, but it is going to attach right over here, and you're able to drop your phone in. I don't really know if there's necessarily a better way. Maybe if we were to swing this around to the front of the mirror. But if I go around to the front, that is still good there as well. But just notate that, you know, maybe your cell phone is going to be a little bit more kind of by your hands with the throttle, but it still is going to be in a safe position there. And you do have another tensioning spot. That T-knob I showed you on this actual cell phone holder is going to be able to, once you get it in the right position. One more thing I noticed too is on the back of the cell phone holder, on the back of this tool is the tool I was talking about earlier. They give you, there is a little Allen, a little Phillips screw, because you are going to have these tabs for different size cell phones. So I believe what you're going to do is you kind of want to have it fit to the size of your phone. So since it is adjustable, you can loosen these screws up, and your horizontal tabs are going to be adjustable. The top one for your phone to drop in is just going to be raised up and down vertically. But that's how you're going to attach the mirrors and how you're going to attach the cell phone. Once again, that is a handy tool to have, so I would keep that tool. Then from there, when I open up the owner's manual as well, a lot of the stuff we went over is in a quick setup guide, but obviously I think the video is going to explain a lot more than what the setup guide also showed you. Another feedback too, there was an extra bolt. I did take out the thumb screw back here, but since that is not necessarily a fitted piece in there and it doesn't pinch it in place, you are always going to have a little bit of wobble back here on this rear component. It's not going anywhere, but that is going to be a normal amount of wobble on the back. And then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to take your front basket and drop that onto the front. It literally just slides down. And then you have a flag, two-piece flag. So depending on the height of the flag that you want, Golden typically has over on the one side like a fitted slot that you can slide it into over here as well. So you are able to attach the flag into the back. It is a pretty tight fit, so let me see if you do have to have the extension on there or not. So yeah, I think you would need the extension to be able to slide that extra piece of the flag down, because it looks like the way how it is in here is really close to the metal brackets that the back of the seat sits on. But once again, if you were worried about safety, it does come with a flag like that as well. A lot of people necessarily don't want to use the flag, but it is included with it. It is included with the 2 mirrors. It is included with the cell phone holder. And now from here, once again, this is my first time doing it, so I'm going to use the key. And then in the full video review, we'll show you how you can use the NFC tag as well. But now that I have my batteries connected, I should be able to just turn the unit on. It actually talks to you, which is pretty crazy. Pretty cool display from here. And then what I wanted to see was with the ground clearance and the power of the unit, is this going to be able to drive off of it itself? So, because that's going to be a little bit of what people are going to ask us. Hey, does this have enough power to be able to drive off? It does look like it is sitting pretty well in this foam molding. So you might have to have 2 people to then slide the unit to the side, get it out of that foam molding, because just with me trying to drive it right now, you can see how it's spinning the tires inside that foam molding. I want to see if I have a little bit of extra help from the front, but once again, it is not moving from there, so that might be a little bit cause for concern for some individuals, just getting it off the pallet, you know, because it is going to be stuck in there pretty well. But let me see if I am able to get this off. Okay, so once again, this is a heavy unit. It is in that foam molding. I'm going to try a couple different ways to see if I'm able to maybe kick this out, maybe able to pry something under the wheels, because even from right here, nothing is tied down to the pallet, but just due to how it sits in there, once again, it is a heavy unit, so I'm trying to figure out the best way for a person that might be using this scooter that might not be as able-bodied as me, how they would be able to get that off of there. Let's look here in the front. It does look like there is some support up underneath here under the front as well. But once again, those tires were just spinning, so it might have to simply be having somebody else help you then navigate this and move that to the side, get it out of the ruts a little bit. All right, so last thing I want to mention on this, I was able to get it off, but it's not easy. I don't know there's an easier way to get it off, just simply due to how the wheels sit in that corrugated box. They want to spin. I mean, ultimately, I really believe you really need 2 people to kind of lift it and punch the corrugated box out from underneath it. I had to try to pivot it, break some of the box, pivot it again, but you know, obviously it's going to be a heavier unit. Just want to mention there is going to be white glove options as well for these units. So if you want to deliver it to your home, somebody come set it all up for you. That is optional. It's an additional cost, but it is an option as well. So if you do want the scooter, you're by yourself and you're not very capable of doing something like that, you might want to consider the white glove option. But if you do find an easier way to get it off this, please comment below in the video. I'd love to hear from you on just how you were able to get it off easier than what it took me to get this off of there. But this is a recap of the Golden Eagle All-Terrain. This is the unboxing video, and then if you stay tuned, we'll have another video coming out shortly that will show you the full video review of what this product can do.
Hi, I'm Mark.
And my name is Alex. We're co-owners of Marc's Mobility.
I started this company in 1995.
We sell many products, not just what you see in this video. If you have any questions or concerns, please call us at the number below at 800-677-6293. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.